Hello, in this video, I'm going to talk about variables. Variables are containers for storing value, and I'm going to show you how they can be useful. In the previous video, I write a code that rotates the cube, and now instead of rotating value by this number, we declare a variable of a float type. We write float and then we write the name of our variable. For example, we call this variable rotate y, and we give it a value of 1.5, and then at the last we write an f, and after that we write a semicolon. Now that we declare this value, it means that wherever we use this rotate y variable, it refers to 1.5, and instead of 2f, here I write rotate y. We can now see the cube rotates slowly, and we can also do another thing. This cube that we created in the previous video has rotate test component or script, and if I make this float y public by writing public, it became public not only to Unity. Let me show you. You can see that we are not able to see our variable here, but it's not a good practice, because public in C# means that not only Unity but every other class can access to this variable. For example, if I go to another class and in the start I write our rotate class, and these are complicated things, but I just wanted to show you if I create another rotate class, I can access rotate y. And this is a bad thing, because imagine if you have a scoring game and by mistake you give access you make the score public, and in one of your classes you make the score 0, and then you have to find through all of your classes and code files to find that class that causes the problem. So more often you should, instead of making classes public, you should make them private, so only this class can access to them. And now if I save this, you don't have access to the variable from your editor. So you should make this private, but behind it you should write SerializeField. This is an attribute that helps you to see the variable inside of Unity. And if I hit play, you can see cube rotates slowly. And if I make this 1.58, you can see now cube rotates very quickly. And if I make it 1, you can see the rotation speed decreases. And I can make this 0.2, and you can see cube rotates very slowly. And I quit play. So you now know this serialized field helps you to see the variable in the editor. This private field makes this rotate y variable private to this class. Now if I again do the thing that previously I do, you can see it no longer shows the rotate y variable. And if the rotate y is the name that we are given to this variable. We can almost use any name that we want, but we can't use numbers in the startup variable. We should almost always use a letter or an underscore like this. And for example, I'm going to show you that we can name this anything. Jack underscore Jack. And here, because we change this variable, and this is no longer knows the rotate y. So we should change this to, and you can see the name of our variable changed to Jack. So the float part means that our variable type is a floating number. Floats are fraction numbers. We can use fraction numbers like this. There is also another variable called int or integers that we can assign whole numbers to. For example, 4. I forget to name this name. I'm going to name this a whole number. You can see the error gone. But if I make this fraction number like 4.2, you can see we receive an error. Cannot complicate it. Convert type double to int. Double is also another variable that contains fraction numbers. And now you can see a list of C# variables and what they can contain. And also I'm going to show you another example of a string variable. I want to call this string a name and give it a value of John, for example. And in the start function, I'm going to write debug.log hello plus John. No, excuse me, I should write the variable name. So I click on console to see that if the debug.log appears here. I hit play and you can see the lights code from our previous code and hello John, but there is no spacing between them. And if I hit on play to stop the game and put a space before the John and save this, you can see hello John with the spacing. And also I can write everything here. For example, I'm gonna write a space and Sarah, and you can see hello Sarah. I'm going to show you one more thing. I want to name this float rotate y again, and I should change this to, and I can also add variables for rotating x and z axis. If I hit play now, nothing changed because these are variables that we currently don't use them. I should put them here so that you can see. You can see all three variables and the name. I'm going to make the name a name or name. So you can see the cube rotates on every axis. And if I make one axis 0, the cube no longer rotates on that axis. And if I make another one 0, you can see cube only rotates on one axis. And if I make all of them 0, you can see the cube stops rotating. And I can make this rotating slowly on this axis. And I can also make this rotation of the z-axis slowly, but rotates the cube on the y-axis quickly. You can see now the cubes rotate with different speeds. And I can also make this a little rotation on the x-axis. And for better viewing, I can scale this, or the better way I can choose the position of camera. And now you can see more clearly. If I make this z rotation 0, it only rotates on y-axis quickly and on the x-axis slowly. And if I make the y-axis 0, you can see it only rotates on x-axis slowly. That's it for this video. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you found this video helpful, consider to like and subscribe. I'm continuing to make these videos, and there will be more videos later.